Today we have a slightly unusual vehicle by my standards. It's my work truck. Well, work being a misnomer. It's my personal use for things I need a truck for. And everyone should have a truck. It's a 91 Dodge Cummins Turbodiesel, which is an interesting thing because it most certainly does not look like a 91. But you look under the hood, single battery, 12 volt, nothing else, which is very unusual for a large capacity diesel. And right here you see the motor. That's the only thing of this truck that's really of value. Otherwise, I got it from half of the original owner couple. He bought it with her as a shop truck for the business that he had, a tractor parts implement store, because they'd sell Cummins diesel parts. And as a result, he bought a truck which had the motor he was familiar with. Now, one of my favorite things, it's been sitting for a while, so I can have a good old-fashioned cold start. And you'll notice she fires right up. No glow plugs, no waiting, no nothing. Just turn the key and go. For diesels, that's huge. And I do my best Donald Trump impersonation, but quite frankly, I'm not very good at that. There's only a handful of things I'm good at, and that ain't one of them. Gotta back out carefully. Okay. Sweet, we are clear. Now, according to the manual, you're supposed to start this thing off in second, because it's the 5-speed with granny gear first, unless you're actually going to do any significant towing. But otherwise, she shifts through the gears with absolute bare minimum of difficulty. Ooh, I'm a little low on fuel. I'll have to stop and get some. But when you do so in the truck like this, absolutely everyone, and I mean everyone, is asking me, hey, can I buy your truck? Oh, I love those things. They're the greatest thing ever made. You want to sell it to me? I'll give you $500. Tell you, it brings out my internal I know what I've got boomer me. And yeah, I shift through gears a little bit fast on this thing, but she's got a surprising amount of pickup for an old work truck. Odometer stopped working at 211,000 miles, but truck's still going strong. That in and of itself is a pretty good thing. Radio doesn't work well, AC doesn't work, but it's got vent windows, so what more do you need? It's a big old bruiser, and I'm technically the second owner. Got it from the sweet little old widow woman whose husband I cremated. Interesting way to meet people, but you know, sometimes whatever works. Yeah, it's a bit different, but this is what I use to haul my parts around and to tow whatever vehicle needs to. And since it's been a little while since I've had an update, figured, at least something's better than nothing. You'll notice though, no matter how long you're running these things, they almost never get hot. It's a very cool running engine. God, is it hard to shift, stick, and focus on where the camera's going. So if you see the camera and footage jumping around a lot, it's because I focus more on driving than I do on the actual little video itself. But that said, she's an interesting vehicle, good oil pressure, but takes a lot of oil just to keep this old thirsty thing running. But it is what it is, and for a cheap little service work truck, it works great for me. Almost no option vehicle. I think the back cargo light is the only one it had. 2-wheel drive, nothing fancy, but again, you don't need a fancy truck. I'm not one of those people who's going to go out and spend $100,000 on a truck for reasons unknown, especially since I can't afford it. Heck, I don't think all of my vehicles total come to $100,000. And this is the only one I've got now, excluding the road trip / wife's / work car. It actually has a sort of fuel injection. Yes, it's diesel injected, but still, it's also the only one with a functional turbo. I've got a turbo set up for the DeLorean that I'm debating putting on it, because I'm not entirely certain how I would go about putting a turbo on a carburetor. But that's a fun project I may figure out at another point. Otherwise, that concludes today's little test drive, and she's an interesting piece. Despite a few miles, still doesn't register on the odometer, but you know, everyone should have a work truck. And this one's mine. Thank you, until next time.